How's it going, guys? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting and welcome back to the house in Fata Morgana. Ooh, we've been getting some juicy details this last few times. Last time, main story-wise, we've just seen a reconciliation between Giselle and Michel, the main characters of this story, who really seem to be developing a love for each other, despite the fact they can't touch each other. I imagine, personally, that temptation would be very, very high, especially on her part, because part of her probably still can't possibly believe that he could actually kill her. So I'm really worried about that. But it seems that the source of the beginning of the destruction of this story is coming from a knock at the door, which is what's happening right now. Excuse me. Also, we should note that I have been scouring the backlog and noticing things. There are certain parts of the story that seem to be just crossed out entirely. I was trying to find what the pattern could be for it. I think I might have an idea. In case you missed it last time, I'll do a quick summary. We sometimes have red text that seems to be some kind of narrator, and they imply that the memories that we're seeing should be accepted as they are because, like, I don't know, we can't handle the truth or something. So that's changed. I think when we see parts that are X'd out, I think what's happening is that is the editing. As in, like, those are the sections that had been revised from their originals, so the originals are crossed out, kind of like confidential files. Then we saw something really interesting that I might not have noticed if I hadn't been checking so much. Inside the text of the last conversation we had, there were other texts of conversations that weren't actually happening in the game that we were playing between two individuals. It took a little while for me to get to that point, but I could see it was a back and forth conversation, I think, between me and somebody else. Now, the person who we were talking to made some interesting points. The first point being that they wondered if I remembered who I was. And the second point being, I brought up a room with a fireplace, and she was just like, no, that never happened. But the thing is that I remember, the main character, whoever we are, in the mansion where we've been visiting the various memories, we woke up in the chair in front of the fireplace, and we don't know who we are. So I think it technically is a weird pseudo-conversation between us and the maid, whom I'm starting to believe is the original witch of the house. She was burned at the stake. We heard the story about witch being burned and how it rained, but then it brought insanity to the village. The moral of the story being that the witch, putting the witch to death granted their wish, but also cursed them. I think that's kind of what happened, except instead of being an ominous cloud that brought rain, it's more the mansion. She was burned to death as a witch, and she cursed the house and everyone in it. And part of the cursing seems to be a desire to bring people together, maybe me as the main character to her, and vice versa. She mentioned something about wanting to be bonded in vengeance, and so it's possible that she wants me to join her as a part of the mansion and kind of continue this curse throughout the aeons to come. So, not sure what to make of all that, but that's all my guesses so far. We'll see. I'm sure we'll have lots of goodies in the near future. I've decided the best way to do this is to check the backlog between phases of scenes. You can typically see when a scene's kind of come to a conclusion and it's transitioning. It's a good time to check and see if we have any suspicious text or any insights, because I have a feeling we're building up to a choice eventually, because it's making it sound like we have to either accept things as we see them or to try and discover the truth that will probably break our brains. So, let's get into it. Is someone at the door? The flow of time was hazy within the mansion's walls. They had little way of telling whether it was night or day, preventing them from knowing exactly how much time had passed. The white-haired girl had made a habit of climbing the observation tower every so often to see whether the sun was up, which allowed her to approximate the time of day. Consequently, when she heard the knock at the door, she was not aware just how deep the night was outside. That forest and beast alike lay quiet at rest. Oh, right, the stores in the cellar are almost exhausted. It must be this month's delivery. Not thinking it was worth bothering Michel over, she made her way out of her chamber and headed for the entrance. There had only been a single knock, leading her to conclude that, as before, the servant had simply left the box outside the door. So without a second thought, she opened the door. Oh, that sounds like a bad idea. And there she saw a strange, vagrant man standing in the moonlight. His clothes were tattered, his bearded face bony and emaciated. She gasped, shrinking back several paces. The heavy doors began to swing shut, but the man forced it open, glaring down at her with unfocused eyes and mumbling. Are you the witch that grants people's wishes? It was in that moment the white-haired girl realized she had been careless. The man had sought out the mansion because he believed the legend of the witch, and he did not seem particularly right of mind either. Perhaps a result of wandering through the forest for several days, or perhaps it was because he was so beaten down that he thought to ask a witch's help. In a word, he seemed mad. No, there's no witch here. Sure there is. Don't you lie to me. I can hear the witch's voice. She led me to this house. I promise you, there isn't. Now please, be on your way. Have you any idea how long I went looking for this place? How many days I went without food, water, and you're telling me to get lost? I don't know what you want from me. I'm happy to give you a little food, so please. Is there really no witch? There's no witch here. It's nothing but a legend. If she does exist, she doesn't live here. I see. Then that means you're just an ordinary person. Huh? Just a person, just a girl. So there ain't a thing you can do. Oh, great course, cause yay! Such a great guy. No, get away from me! What are you doing? Well, I wasted time waiting for you to give me a little grub when you could just take it all. I'm starving here. I'm just so hungry, I could eat human. You're about to commit a gravish sin. Are you not ashamed of the act in defiance of God? God? If I believed in God, would I come begging to a witch? I don't fear him. I'm sure as heck don't fear people. Who's gonna show up at our house in the middle of nowhere? Who's gonna call me out? Who's gonna stop me? No one. That's who. No one's gonna stop me, and no one's gonna offer me salvation. Ah, there's a thought. You're a woman, so after I kill you. What are you doing? What? There are other people here? The white-haired girl lay pinned on the floor beneath the yelling bandit, pleading for help with her ruby eyes. As soon as Michel grasped the situation, he tossed his candlestick aside and leapt for the man. Oh boy. Oh. The candlestick gave a sharp clang when it hit the floor. The impact extinguished the flame, bringing the mansion to near-perfect darkness. Something glinted in the bandit's hand, and then, without hesitation, he thrust it at Michel. Sorry. Michel! Ha 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 ha! How stupid could you be running at me unarmed? In his hand, the man held a knife, its tip dripping with Michel's blood. Red spilled from the gash in his arm, the flow growing heavier with each passing moment. You're the only other person here by the looks of it, hmm? Perfect, I'll take you both out. You... What? You don't appear to know whose house you tried to break into. What are you on about? Regret your ignorance or to your very last breath. You messed up in the head, you madman. Stay the heck back. Take one more step at... Ooh. Oh. I inherited the witch's curse. Let go. Michel clutched the man's face in one hand. The man raised his knife to strike back, but... What's happening? The strength drained from his fingers, the knife falling to the floor. The man writhed in Michel's grip. My face! I can't breathe! Leave this place immediately, though you won't get far afflicted with my curse. So he actually ran off. Helpless to fight back, nay, helpless to even consider fighting back, the bandit fled from the mansion in terror. In his wake, only the white-haired girl and the bleeding Michel remained. I just saw a man's life drained from him. His face withered away, sucked completely dry. I didn't doubt him, but, dear God, that was quite disturbing for you, I'm sure. No, not at all. It's my fault anyway, if I hadn't been so careless. Oh, your arm! We need to get that wrapped up. Please, do not touch me. You mustn't touch me. The wound is hardly fatal. It's all my fault. I'm so sorry. No, a degree of blame falls to me for saying nothing. Next time someone comes to the door, let me know. I'm sorry. Please, you do not need to apologize. Well... Yes? For once, I'm actually proud of myself. Proud that I could use this terrible ability of mine to do something more than just take life. To protect someone I care about. So, like I said, please don't apologize. Alright, thank you. Michel? I'm glad you're here. I care about you too. Thank you. Oh, that was interesting. Interesting that at the beginning of the end, though. Had the flame of Michel's candle not gone out when he threw it to the floor, he would have seen a heartfelt smile on the white-haired girl's face, and she would have seen a flush of red and an awkward smile on Michel's normally blank face. He also might have seen a little glimmer on her cheek, where a few drops of his blood had landed. Oh, no. But alas, they had no light. Oh, that's so sad. Gosh darn it. Well, maybe, heck, maybe, who knows? Maybe that's what brings her into the curse. What if that gives her the same abilities? What if that makes her immune? It could be anything. Maybe not her dying. Right, let's check the backlog. Alright. Blood, thank you. Alright, so far, not looking at anything unexpected. Okay, other, that's a creepy guy's name. Doesn't look like we missed anything here. Oh. The text is a little bolder for his yelling, but I guess that's what it was in the conversation as well. So this scene apparently was very much unaltered. Nothing really changes about this. Okay. Oh, okay, interesting. Nope, that's not it. Open the door. Flow of time was hazy. Someone at the door. Yep, okay. Nope, there's nothing suspicious in that section of text so far. Unless I really missed something, but I'm not going to spend the time reading it all. The collapse of their happiness came slowly, gradually. Perhaps it was because she had touched his blood instead of his skin. But the deterioration of the white-haired girl's health crept along at a relaxed pace. The life was not sucked out of her in the blink of an eye, as it had been for the bandit. She merely grew progressively less and less healthy. Amidst her physical decay, she was bestowed with one blessing. Her beauty remained untouched. But as far as the blessing went, surely there were others she could have been granted. Could God have not simply picked something a little better for her? By the time the two of them realized what was happening, it was already too late. The white-haired girl had grown so weak she could hardly leave her bed. Yes. Oh, you are there. I am. Thank goodness. I can't see very well anymore. How could this happen? I thought I'd saved you, but no, I did the exact opposite. Please, don't talk that way. You did save me that day. But you're on the cusp of death now, and it's my fault. Because of this curse I bear. How? How could this happen? Why did that have to happen? What am I? Why was I given this body? Michel. Can I, ask you a favor? Go ahead. Stay with me, please? As much as you can, until the very end. Aw, that would suck. I was going to do as much anyway. Thank you. I'm happy, Michel. Happier than I've ever been. And I mean that. You didn't just save my life. You saved me. I've been saved. But only me. I wonder how he'll handle things when I'm gone. If only I hadn't opened the door that day. It wouldn't be leaving him all alone. And we could be happy together for even longer. Yes. Would you please hold my hand? I think it's probably safe now. I will not. I cannot touch you. If I do, I might take what remains of your life. Take your beauty away and force you to die hideous. I cannot touch you. Uh-oh. The glitch is back. So, I think that's interference. That might be the clue that red text has appeared. So we're gonna be freaking checking now. The glitch, the glitch. What does the glitch mean? Okay. Looks like, okay, we're gonna go into more of it. This is like found here, it's her. Let's see. Ooh, interesting. Okay, okay. We're gonna scroll back up a bit. So we're gonna go back to the revelation and see, because it looks like this isn't really that edited. Okay, by the time, let's give this body, ask a favor, stay with me. Will you hold my hand? I think it's probably safe now. I will not. I'll cannot touch you. And then here it is. Dark, dark, dark. It's dark. How long has it been dark here? How long have I been in the darkness? It's so cold here. Freezing. Where? Where could she have gone? Where could she... Giselle, yes. Her smile shines so bright it can cast away the darkness. I must take her hand. She'd been calling for me for so long. Take her hand. But I'm cursed. That would kill her. No, 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 no. This is a lie. All a lie. So what's the lie? The story we've been fed? Or the fact that he can't touch her? Probably the first part. Ooh, chills. Oh, I love it. Okay, so who's this mysterious person? Huh? On his way back from the washroom several days later, Michel heard muffled voices. He got it? Good. He was having trouble making out what they were saying, but he could tell it was several men, and they were outside the front door. The fact that he could hear them at all through the heavy door meant that they were probably shouting quite loudly. An indescribable sense of uneasiness came over him. Dread. He drew nearer the door and focused on the voices on the other side. They grew clearer, enough for him to make out what the men were saying. Everything's in place. We're ready to kill this witch now. This is definitely the place. The half-dead bandit said she was in the mansion. Listen, listen well. No matter what we find in there, we kill it. Could bear a child for all I care. It doesn't change anything. It could be a child for all I care. It doesn't change anything. Kill the witch. Kill the witch. Kill the witch. Kill the witch. Oh no. What he heard beyond the door was a group of men shouting for the death of a witch. In that moment, Michel regretted his decision to let the bandit go free and not watch over him until his moment of demise. He must have made his way down to the village in search of help, where he revealed what he had found at the mansion. Dang it! But it was too late. Regret would solve nothing. He could neither stop the villagers from raiding the house, nor could he stop the white-haired girl from dying under the effects of his curse. He was helpless to do anything. The gears in his fate had locked him into a path of tragedy and were turning mercilessly onward. The men had begun trying to break down the door with a sound that sounded like a battering ram. While the first strike was not enough to breach the barrier, it was still quite powerful. He was certain it would not hold for long. Michel's mind raced. Was there anything he could do about the predicament? How could he escape from the corner he'd been backed into? Despite his possessing inhuman powers, he would be powerless against a full mob of adult men. The villagers almost certainly came armed as well. Michel? A weak voice came from behind him. Aghast, he spun around to find the white-haired girl stumbling toward him. She breathed heavily, leaning against columns for support. What are you doing out here? You'll only worsen your condition by exerting yourself. I had a sinking feeling, and I heard noises on my way here. It seems that I have brought all my misfortune upon you. Don't say that. If I hadn't come here, this never would have happened. You never would have been in any danger. Please, Michel, hand me over to the men outside. Absolutely not. I will not do such thing. I will do no such thing. They're here for a witch, aren't they? I'm guessing they're the same people who were chasing me before. The village had poor harvest this year, I hear. Like the village in the legend. And they believe it's a witch's curse. But you're not a witch. They needed someone to fill the role, though. So please, hand me over, and they'll escape on your own. I could never. Please, Michel. I'm the one who's cursed, not you. And you want me to hand you over? What would I have left then? Nothing. Not a thing. I would have nothing. After so long, I finally found someone who isn't afraid of me, but who won't run. I have no interest in the world that would take you away from me, make me live alone once more. To hell with such a world. Michel. Would you be willing to die with me? If that's what you wish, then stay with me until the very end. Dang. Okay, real quick, I just want to see. Looks pretty normal. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I should have said. I probably wanted to hear just as much from him. No, I probably did. No, not probably. I did. I wanted to have someone at my side as much as him. It's so lonely not having anyone. To live alone. To die alone. To not have anyone watching over you. For no one to ever know you're dead. I simply wanted someone to tell me they're here for me. To be there. To hold my hand. How wonderful that would be. A scene of utter relief it would bring. Would be enough to cast away all the pain. To allow me to accept all our suffering. So please, tell me you'll... They went up to the tower. Okay. Backlog one more time. Just to see. Yeah. Michel and the white-haired girl chose to spend their final moments at the top of the observation tower. Because I feel like we're almost at the end of this one. I feel like it feels like the ending. They could hear the crash of the battering ram against the door and the shouts of men and their stomping feet. But despite all that, the ray of light shining through the little window was as beautiful as always. The room's air of serenity remained unimpeached. As the long climb to the top, the white-haired girl was terribly out of breath. Michel considered several times offering her his hand, but the possibility that doing so might rob her of her last scraps of life stayed his hand. It sounds like they broke down the door. I'm glad we made it up here when we did. I'm sorry for asking this of you. Don't be. I would have chosen here for my final moments as well. This is the one place in the mansion with any sunlight. The one place I can get a good look at you. Thank you. I'm truly glad that I was able to end up here. Now, interesting. So we're seeing shadows. We've seen shadow silhouettes before, and they've come with interesting messages, but, oh man. That I was able to meet you. Also, yeah, like, that might be a good... And more than anything, that you said you cared about me. Have I managed to become an essential part of your life? Do you even need to ask? I wouldn't be here otherwise. I feel the same way as you, I'm sure of it. The two of us are more similar than you probably care to admit. Can I ask you one more thing? Go on. Would you embrace me? If this is to be the end, if this is to be my last chance, then I don't want it to end without having been able to touch you. Please, don't refuse this, Michelle. Just do it, please. I won't keep you waiting long. Aww. Thank you. The truth is, I always wanted this. I dreamt of being able to hold you. I dreamed of it too. Thank you. I'm so very... That's so sad. She's still so beautiful. What a cruel joke. Could you not have given us some other miracle? One that would allow us both to survive? Where are you? Where'd you get off to? I can't find her, dang it. Hey, there's someone over there! They're lit up! Beneath a single ray of light, the white-haired girl lay completely still. Not even a frail sigh escaped her closed lips. Okay, real quick. So he says, where are you? Where'd you get off to? I can't find her. Oh, it's the man, it's the people searching. Gotcha. I thought it was Michelle for a second. I was like, is he asking for the maid? She remained as gorgeous as ever. It was as though she had simply fallen asleep in the sunlight. Looking down upon her, Michelle determined to do one thing. I will not allow anyone to sully this sight. He gave a fleeting glance back at her pristine corpse, then opened the door and stepped through it alone. He would protect the room where she lay. Hey, there's someone up there. So this is where you've been hiding, you infernal witch. Wait, that's not the girl. The raucous sound of their footsteps rang up from below. Shortly thereafter, the men themselves came into view. As he had expected, they were heavily armed. He glowered at the men and stuck in a deep breath and shouted at the top of his lungs. I am the witch you seek! I have inherited her curse, and it is I who brings calamity upon you. You hear that? But he's a... Man or woman, it doesn't matter. Death to anyone who ties to the witch. Cleanse the earth of all impurity. Kill him! Kill him! Kill him! Michel did not flinch at the sight of the men. He stood unyielding between them and the door. He did not flinch when they raised their weapons against him, nor when they pierced his body. I don't know, man. I would have been touching them all if I could. Just be like, I'm taking you with me! Poor Michel. Die and take your curse with you. I have no need for this life any longer. It's all yours. He just sprays blood everywhere. I am cursed to kill even that which I wish to protect. But, at the very least, I can protect one thing before my life is done. Not even one of you will leave this place. Wither and die by my curse. The blood spilling from his skewered body flowed down the stairs and down like a little river. soaking the feet of every single man who had stormed the mansion. This was the last thing he saw before his final grains of life slipped between his fingers, which brought a faint smile to his lips. Oddly, good man, good man. Oh my gosh, no. No. No, if she's gonna be alive, I'm gonna be so sad. Oh no, that sucks. Alright, so no, nothing here. Nothing looking very odd. Not even editing here. It's really interesting. Like, it's calmed down. Like, there's not as much in this as there was before. Oh, I hate it. Neither of them had expected what happened next, though, for God has a most twisted sense of humor. The white-haired girl had not miraculously passed away without being robbed of her beauty. Why am I still alive? She had, rather, not passed away at all. Quite cruel of him, was it not? Michel? Where have you gone, Michel? Michel? Oh, hang on. Interesting. So, I just had a thought. Don't know if it's right, but remember how they were all touched with his blood? Did that curse them to be the ones whose souls are trapped forever in the mansion, or at least partially? Interesting. I smell blood. So maybe being touched by his blood, like, by a little bit, like let her build up an immunity to it? Oh, man. Ah. For he had allowed her to die, she would not have been made to witness the scene that awaited her. No. And I am sure you know just what she saw, what she laid her eyes upon in that moment. Oh. The ravaged corpse of her beloved. A torrent of blood streaming down the spiral staircase, and the sickening stench it raised. No! Why? And his was not the only body. The villagers who had assaulted the mansion had been subject to his curse. The life drained from their withered shells. Why did this? Michel! Why? Why am I the only one still alive? That is a question I cannot answer either. Perhaps his curse did not affect those he loved, as terribly cruel as that may be. I cannot say. Why? You said we would go together. A world without you has no meaning. Has she actually expended her life through the room at the top of the tower? Perhaps this tale could have had a happy ending. She would not have at least been able to have the man. She would have at least been able to have the man she loved at her side until the very last moments upon the earth. But that was not what had transpired. She had survived, been left utterly alone. I felt a profound pity for the miserable girl, so I called out to her. So you are here. Oh, look at that. Look at that, it's actually her. Would you like to see him once more? What? Oh my gosh. I have the power to help you meet him again. Who's there? Where are you? You know what they call this mansion. So who do you suppose remains on these grounds? No way. You're from the legend. You actually exist. Now, I ask you a simple question. Would you like to see him again? The witch grants people's wishes, but at a price. I said I wouldn't ask for her assistance if I met her, but that's all changed, now that I've lost him. If it's truly possible, then yes, I want to see him. Bring him back to life. Regrettably, I cannot directly meddle with the forces of life and death. However, I can guarantee you this. Your reconstruction. Reconstruction? Correct. To ensure that you remain as yourself in the future lives, and are not reborn as someone else, Your body and mind shall be reconstructed, as shall his. If you sincerely wish to reunite with one another, if you genuinely need each other in your lives, you will eventually meet again. All I can promise you is eternal reconstruction. What will you make of it is up to you. You want to see him again, don't you? You want to hear his voice again, don't you? You want to feel his hand on your cheek once more, don't you? If that's what you... Wait. Oh, sorry, that's her. Sorry, wrong voice. If you want to see him again, don't you? You want to hear his voice again, don't you? You want to feel his hand on your cheek once more, don't you? If that is what you want, then you must remain who you are. If you are simply reborn, that wouldn't be you. So there wouldn't be any point, would there? Me, as I am, and he, as he is. Make up your mind quickly. I will not wait long. I want to see him again. As you wish, sweet little girl. I shall grant you both eternal reconstruction, and pray with all my heart that you can attain true happiness. No, because their souls are bound to the house of misery. Shortly thereafter, the white-haired girl took her own life. She decided she had nothing to gain by remaining in the present time, and that in order to reunite with Michel, she needed to make her way to her next life. And thus, the mansion was left bereft of a master, to travel slowly through the ages until someone came along to give it life once more. Ooh, so maybe I was right the first time. The white-haired girl is the master. Maybe. So yeah, so are we Michel or are we Giselle? That's the question. And it's interesting because at the same time, we had the master bedroom. It was a woman in there, but she was talking to somebody. So I don't know. Okay. So this, nothing. I'm not seeing anything. Nope, nothing sticking out here. Nope. But the unfathomable amount of time has passed, and the two have still yet to reunite. Have they, master? You know now who you are, do you not? You remember everything now, do you not? You were present in every single era. The reason for which I described you in the previous tale. Because you yearned to be reunited with someone. But that person never showed up, in any era. And poor, sweet you, having no memory of any of that. White-haired girl. We're the white-haired girl. Well, I've been doing the voice wrong. Lived those lives with other men. Is it any surprise misfortune befell those eras then? The door swung closed. But rather than outside, you and the maid were inside the dull, monochrome room at the top of the observation tower. The awe-inspiring ray of light shone not through the lone window high up upon the stone wall. Wrapped in a curious, imperceptible darkness, you both stood alone in the room. The maid wore a gentle, but briefly cold smile as she looked straight at you. It is not your fault misfortune befell you. The only force to blame for that is fate. You were always so kind, so pure of heart. You had boundless trust for others and the goodness of people. You were the very image of all that is right. There is no greater misfortune than someone as pure and beautiful as you, being mercilessly thrown into the grinding gears of tragedy again and again. I still pity you for everything you had to go through. You poor, poor soul. You must be utterly exhausted. Constantly betrayed by the man you were waiting for never appearing. And after so long, your spirit worn down to the bone, you lost any and all awareness of who you ever were. Who were you hoping to find wandering this illusionary mansion, cut off from the real world? You and I are the only ones here. The man you seek is nowhere to be found. Have you still not figured it out? Then allow me to tell you everything. No, there's something here. You see, part of the problem with this now is we've communicated with other things. We've seen things that she didn't intend for us to see. There's the subject in the mirror. Why are there other people who are being reincarnated? How come, what's her name? The evil, like the maid who went crazy with Jocopo. Maria. Why did she find handwriting in the basement that reflected hers? We can't be the only person trapped in this mansion. So, if there are others, where are they? And how are they part of all this? Was everyone affected by the curse brought in? No, there's more people too. I don't understand. I'm trying to figure it out. I am the cursed witch, Morgana, who haunts this mansion. And you are the tragic plaything of fate, the white-haired girl named Giselle. Did my calling you master confuse you? If so, then I apologize. My habit of calling the master, or mistress of the house, master, is quite deeply ingrained. And yes, that means precisely what you think it does. I have accepted you as my new master. That I wish for you to remain here, to stay with me. So let us put an end to this journey. Do not worry, there is nothing to fear. We are simply going to step outside the river of time. Nothing unpleasant will ever happen to you again. I will be here for you for all eternity, and I will give you my utmost care. You will not have to wait for anyone. Forget about him, the man you once sought, and I am sure you shall find happiness. Please, do it for me. I have been waiting for you for so very long. I have wanted nothing more than to see you again. But you were continually stolen away from me, despite my sincerest desires to spend my days with you. Which is why I wanted you to recall everything. For surely you would not willingly repeat the same fate. If you knew all the pain it caused you to suffer thus far, spend eternity with me, in the gentle embrace of darkness. The maid extended her hand for you. Her fingers brushing up against yours were as cold as ever. Her breath tickled your skin pleasantly, and her sweet words rang in your ears, filling you with warmth. You thought back on your time with her in the mansion. She had indeed always treated you with great compassion, and nothing she had said seemed to be a lie. And so you pondered. And we pondered. And we pondered that the text has been screaming at us that it's a lie. What were you to do? Oh, fetch. Oh, fetch. Ooh, interesting. Accept, reject, or there's still more to be done? I think there's still more to be done. Oh, okay. I'm gonna safety save because I might need to come back here. I don't know if I need to, but I'm gonna make my honest choice. There's still more to be done. Oh, I don't know. I'm not accepting. I'm absolutely not accepting. What happens if I click if there's no more to be done? I have to go with my gut. Something seemed off. Not only was the story she just told, with her, and with you yourself, assuming everything she said was the truth. Witch or not, my mind is made up. Which will you strike you first, I wonder? Regret? Oh, which will strike you first, I wonder. Regret or the curse? Wait a minute. The man in the painting! What if that was Michel? Is that possible? That he's been reincarnated in paintings? He said he didn't know who he was. Oh my gosh, that was him, wasn't it? Or he's the stained glass window. That's also possible. You seem to be doing just fine. It's only a tale. The witch is real, very much so. It is not a legend nor a fairy tale. The witch is me. Wait a minute. That's right. Okay, what? Wait. Are you meaning literally? I thought you were saying that as subjective, saying like, well, I have the witch's curse in me. But what if he was the witch? It wasn't the witch, it wasn't the white-haired girl who had claimed to be the witch. And that wasn't all. The painting! Or do you mean to reclaim your old self no matter the cost? If you do, if you sincerely are prepared to do that, then be wary of the tale that comes next. Any tragedy that seems too beautiful to be real is precisely that. A fabrication. Oh, I think I made the right choice. None of your questions have been answered. You still don't know who the painting was, or what had taken place so long ago that caused the mansion to summon people to it. Yeah! You didn't even know who you were, for that matter. There was still more to be done. You had to find the truth. You needed to find someone. That much was certain. But was the story the maid had told correct about whom? And if it was... what about her? What about the woman whose name you couldn't say? The woman who had so cheerfully called you master? Okay. Yeah. We agreed that we would live together, not just in the same house, and we've got plenty of time to add more to the list. And I hope you can make your own list about me, too. This is just the beginning, after all. We've got a long, long time ahead of us. Plenty enough to get to know each other, no? Who was that? You must say her name. You must take her hand. You must make her smile once again. You mustn't reclaim your old self. Oh, yes, we will. It's dark. Dark. It's dark. It's dark again. Alright, quick, before we do that, let's backlog. So who is that? Man in the painting. Michelle said that the witch is me. It wasn't the white-haired girl who claimed to be the witch. That wasn't all. I feel like I'm missing something still. Ah! It's dark, 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 dark. Constantly. Constantly engulfing darkness. So, ooh, okay, hang on, what is... Okay, this looks like that. You throw it away. Every single time I must break out of this darkness, I'll give you my every single time I must break out of this darkness, I'll give you a world that's not cruel to you. I must escape and take her hand. Because that's the reason. Oh, I've got a wonderful idea. I came here. You can curse them with me. I must return, I must reclaim. We can think of new ways to torture them. We'll all be happier if you stay here. Just think about it. Stay here in this world. You'll be right at home. No. I did the best I could for you, nothing more. This is not where I belong. Okay, it's like it's a conversation, it looks like now. But maybe a conversation with ourselves. Interesting. Okay, yeah, it's like, I must break out of this darkness. I'll give you a world that's not cruel to you. I must escape and take her hand because that's the reason. And then they start laughing while we're saying that. Oh, I've got a wonderful idea. I came here. You can curse them with me. I must return. I must reclaim. We can think new ways to torture them. We will all be happier if you stay here. There's multiple souls here. Just think about it. Stay here in this world. You'll be right at home. No. I did the best I could for you, nothing more. This is not where I belong. No matter how much a world of darkness may suit me, you'll never be able to do it. I must reclaim my true self. Wait. There's only one choice. Am I sure? Is that another lie? Okay. Ah, this is brilliant. Do you have any idea how terrible a decision that is? Do you have any idea why I fabricated that story? It was all for you. So stay here. Stay right where you are. The darkness suits you better. Reclaim yourself. Oh. Remember what someone told you not long ago? That you could handle the stories because they weren't your own. That you were able to bear the tragedies because they happened to others. If that had been your suffering, if the secrets you kept buried away for so long had come out, you couldn't possibly have endured it. Reclaim yourself. But you're a sharp one. I'm sure you intend to keep those secrets tucked away forever. Do you really think I'm not going to let you do that, though? Whatever you're trying to hide, I'll make sure your beloved hears every last detail. Reclaim yourself. Ah, how foolish can you be? Despite all my encouragement, you still insist on getting your old self back? What do you have to gain from that? Nothing but filthy, ugly tragedy awaits you down this path. I'm doing it anyway. Don't get your hopes up, my dear. There's nothing for you there. You'll have nothing. I'm offering you a place by my side. You should just take it. There's no salvation for you anyway. I guess this is the witch, probably, so I should probably do her voice. None at all, anywhere, from anyone, ever. I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing something here. I don't think so. Reclaim yourself. She has long since lost all grip on reality. And you think there's anything you can do for her now? Despite having repeatedly failed to even regain yourself? Maybe we are Michel. Like, maybe we are Michel. That might be it. Reclaim yourself. Well, I suppose if you're going to be stubborn, as much as I don't want to, I have to place... Get out. A curse on your soul. That's right. The white-haired girl was never at the mansion. Wait, what? 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 Oh my gosh. We were only seeing repeats of her. We were seeing representatives of her through time, but they were never her? I don't think I'm the white-haired girl, or maybe I am. I don't know. There is still a story left untold. What? What? The fourth door was all a lie. What do you mean? It was not some sweet little tragedy. The story you told was pure fantasy. I'm gonna stay in my voice because I don't know who I am, so I'm gonna stay in my voice. No, that was the truth. That was where it all began. Because of what happened then, you spent a numeral of years lost until you showed up here and... What? You reached out, grasping for it. You pull yourself in. Your silhouette, which had been hazy until now, begins to take form. Your mind, your consciousness, your heart, your soul, all your body. Who are you? The veil in your mind dissipates. A crack forms in the shell encasing you, then another. The invisible shackles chaining your spirit fall to the floor. Reality fades in on top of the indistinct, foggy world around you. Bony fingers appear before your eyes. Long hair. Your voice, no. My voice. My body. My fingers. My arms are frail and my joints weak. But despite my resemblance to the white-haired girl, I am not her. It's Michel! I always thought he looked like her! This is who I am. I have finally reclaimed myself. You weren't waiting for the white-haired girl. You were waiting for me. And that's exactly why I came here. What? I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, okay. So the original story So Michel was the one who got trapped, but he got trapped before, and she was the one we bonded with, not the white-haired girl. I have always waited for the white-haired. There was never a white-haired girl. There was only this time. This time I must say her name. She is Morgana. Oh, Giselle. There was only you. I am Giselle. No, I am not Giselle. I am a servant of the house, and I am a witch. The cause... You are not a witch. The witch is someone else. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that actually makes a lot of sense. Why do you insist that you're the witch? What changed you so much? Oh my gosh. The shadowy figure in the master bedroom, that was her. A glimpse into her past. I'm sure this is Giselle, but why is she so different? What happened to the spark she used to have? Where did the light she once shone upon the world go? I have to remember. I must remember. This cannot end until I have. This is no longer a story. No. What I need is to face my past. And her heart. She was not even present in the story she made up. That makes... Oh my gosh! Everything about it had been changed. The past I lived and the wounds she bore were more grounded in harsh reality, not wrapped in a film of fairy tale magic. That was the final tale, and it was all true. That's how it happened. It was bittersweet story. No. How can you not see this? Yes, it was a beautiful tragedy, but was there even a scrap of humanity in it? Behind the three preceding doors, there had been a constant thread of ugliness and conflicting motivations, but there was hardly a trace of that behind the fourth door. The characters felt nothing more than characters. Is that what you want to turn into? Is that what you want our history to become? Our history. But I don't remember anything at all. You don't remember anything? No, I don't want to. I don't need the past or future. All I have left inside me is uncertainty. Giselle. No. That's not my name. Please stop trying to confuse me. I'm fine with things the way they are. If it means I don't have to hurt, that's all I want. So please, just let me keep being the maid. Let me keep being a guide, not some foolish girl. Is that what she honestly desires? So wait a minute. There is one thing that has been interesting though. Talking about repeating characters. We have seen repeating nastiness in every story. With Mel, it was Nellie, the sister. With with the Beast, oh crap, maybe not in that one per se. But there was also like Maria, like what if those two were actually the witch? Because it was like her job to keep the reincarnations in line, maybe. That would also explain the handwriting possibly, I don't know. Does she want to cast aside her past for good? If so, then. I'm sorry? Not remembering isn't an option. I'm not gonna, no, trust me. Like, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna suck. But not remembering isn't an option. No matter what she says, I know I'm right. And if she doesn't reclaim her old self, I'll never get to hear her say my name again. I know I'm being selfish here, but I can't do that. If you're afraid of what you might find, we can remember together. I haven't gotten everything back yet myself, so let's open the real door together. There are no other doors to open. But there is one that can only be opened by our hands because it exists between the two of us. Not a door with a physical form, but the door to your heart. The door to my... I grasped her unnaturally cold hand, a hand that long ago once had warmth. If she cannot lead the way, then I have to. I must pick up the pieces that erased our history so that we can both reclaim ourselves. Find the actual truth. No matter what we may uncover, I will not let go of this hand. No, I mustn't let go of it. Oh my gosh! Darkness falls over the world around us. The floor upon which we had been standing flickers out of existence, sending us dropping into an endless abyss. The dark pit. This is her door. Her history. Her heart. Let's try this one more time. It's not a sweet story by any means. It's not a story of betrayal, anger, hatred. It's a story of betrayal, anger, hatred. We caused each other pain. But that's the road we traveled. And down that road lies all the answers. And the witch, the true witch, which we will have, I think, find the fourth door. The real fourth door. Oh, oh, oh. The fifth door. Woo! Ooh. $10.99. So many chills. So many chills. Okay. I'm gonna check the backlog. I don't think there's gonna be any hidden here because we've kind of forced our way through the uncertainty. But I want to double check just in case there's something that seems fishy. Oh my gosh. The truth. The truth is going to be here. We're going to find it. Oh, I'm so glad I made all the good choices, and I'm pretty darn sure that I've found myself to the right path. Oh man, oh man. Oh, I am kind of in love with this. This was cool. There's so much just like awesome moments right there. And now we'll start the final door, I think. Or at least what I assume is the final door. And we'll finally find the truth for ourselves. And we will see. We will see. I love it so much. Oh, so good. But I think we're going to stop here. Kind of a long one already. And I don't know if I can handle anything more. Oh, I gotta breathe. I'm so excited for next week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed me making that choice and looking for all the signs and piecing together the mystery a little bit better and recognizing, oh, I'm so glad I was able to get that last choice and that there was still more to it. I was just like, I saw it and I was instantly like, I gotta click that one. Even though I was like, oh, it's risky. What an awesome story. I love it. Okay, well, other than that, I'd love to hear your thoughts about this, and I guess maybe, what was it like for you recognizing the oddities of that story? I mean, there was problems with it from the get-go, and remember I was mentioning how it looked like it had been edited out and stuff? Like, it echoed with so much Doki Doki Literature Club in that, honestly. Well, this came first, so maybe Doki Doki Literature Club echoes with echoes of the House in Fata Morgana. But man, this is nuts. I can't wait to finish it. Oh my goodness. So thank you guys so much for being here today. Thanks so much for joining me. As always, it's a pleasure having you here, and it's just wonderful to be able to share these experiences with you. I hope you enjoyed the trip as much as I did, and watching. I'm sure my face was great for this one, so thank you once again. And until the next video you're watching me or happen to see me in next, I'll see you there.